Hello and good evening. Welcome to the 2021 Potawatomi Volunteer Dinner. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'll take just a second to introduce myself. For those of you who have not been to this before, I am the Scoutmaster of Troop 924. I'm also the Commissioner for Pack 970, and my name is Marcelo Bondurant. I was a Scout as a youth. I attended Cajun. I've had a son attend and contribute and be part of Scouting, go through Cajun, and now he's graduated and moved on to college, but I remain. So for those of you who know me well and who have been to these dinners before, I'm afraid you're going to get to listen to me talk again for most of the evening. So I hope you're ready. I hope you also recognize that this is a celebration. So if you have not prepared adequately, I suggest that maybe you should consider that. And we'll begin the program this evening. So tonight we come together for fellowship, fun, and recognition of the time and talents of our volunteers. All the time that they've given to over 3,000 youth, as well as to each other during 2020. So to begin, I'd like to invite you to join me in our invocation. Mary Wadley, our Potawatomi Commissioner and a member of our District Dinner Committee, will be leading us in a moment of remembrance.
We would like to offer a moment of silent remembrance and reflection for the members of our Scouting family whom we have lost this past year. Let this flame remind us of the eternal spirit of Scouting that burned in the hearts of those who have now moved past this life and into a new journey. May we also carry the flame in our own hearts to remember and honor them.
Thank you, Mary. So it's wonderful to virtually have so many of you here with us tonight to recognize the outstanding Scouters and another year of excellence in Scouting. And it has been quite a year, I think. But all of us have found a way. Scouting continues, and we can be excited and we can celebrate that opportunity. So without your dedication and sacrifice, we'd not have nearly as much to celebrate. So please, and I know this is going to be a little weird, but you're going to have to practice this at home, give yourself a round of applause. All right. Lastly, if you would, please join me in extending your gratitude to our District Dinner Committee, Karen Pinelli, Ann Young, and Mary Wadley for putting together this event. Thank you, ladies, for all your hard work as always. This event takes much planning and effort, and you are very much appreciated. So I'd like to take a second now and introduce you to our Northeast Illinois Council Scout Executive, Mr. Nick Roberts, who has a message for us.
Good evening, all, and welcome to the Potawatomi District Dinner for 2021. I'm Nick Roberts, and I serve as your Scout Executive of the Northeast Illinois Council. Tonight, I'd like to share just a few remarks with the group as we celebrate the successes of 2020 and look ahead to what's in front of us for 2021. I'd like to begin by thanking Reed Snyder for his many years of service to the Potawatomi District as Commissioner and most recently as District Chair, as he now becomes the Northeast Illinois Council Commissioner. I'd also like to welcome Mike Dashnall as the new District Chair as he starts in this new role of leadership for the Boy Scouts of America. I'd like to talk some about the resilience of Scouting. 2020, we were met with many challenges, the largest of which was the pandemic caused by COVID-19. I want to thank everyone for what you've done in order to continue pushing Scouting forward and serving the youth of our communities by working with the virtual day camp, the mail order den meetings in a box, the virtual Pinewood Derbies, the local adventures at both Camp Crown and Camp Acero, as we've tried to find new ways to deliver Scouting in innovative ways that we've not looked at before. This month, February, we celebrate Black History Month and the diversity, inclusion, and equity of the Northeast Illinois Council. We celebrate our inaugural class of female Eagle Scouts, 8 of which from the Northeast Illinois Council earned this distinction this year, along with 1,000 other females across the country. We celebrated this past weekend nationally with Be a Change. Of the 8 Eagle Scouts that were females in our council, 5 of those came from the Potawatomi district, and we congratulate those young ladies as they continue to knock down barriers and succeed in Scouting's program. This weekend, tomorrow, is the virtual Walk of Faith. It's hosted by both the Catholic and Jewish committees on Scouting in the Northeast Illinois Council. We've partnered with Ebenezer Baptist Church of Atlanta, Georgia, and Troop 213, the home troop of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. To be able to attend this event, you can go to neic.org/WOF to sign up and participate in tomorrow's virtual Walk of Faith. 2021 marks the reopening of the Cajun Scout Reservation. Over the past 2 years, more than $800,000 has been raised and reinvested in our property. With the addition of new canvas tents with metal internal frames, new slumberjack cots, gravel on our roads, underground utilities, and the addition of additional storm shelters and latrines on our campsites, our camp will be back, it's open, and it will be safer than ever before. I'd also like to congratulate tonight's awardees. Through the District Award of Merit, the highest recognition a council can present at a district level, I congratulate you on your years of unselfish service to the Cub Scouting, Scouts BSA, Venturing, Exploring, and Sea Scouting programs of both the Potawatomi District and the Northeast Illinois Council. Your service to our youth is appreciated, and we thank you for attending tonight, and we'll see you on the trail ahead.
Thank you, Nick. And now I'd like to take a minute to introduce our Potawatomi District Commissioner, Mr. Brian Lambert.
First, I want to take a moment to thank our commissioner team for providing the very best in commissioner service for our units in 2020. Tonight, I'm here to present our commissioner awards. The Arrowhead Honor recognizes proficiency in the contemporary tools and techniques commissioners use to provide effective unit service. The unit commissioner must contact each unit at least 6 times during a 12-month period and log all contacts and commissioner tools. They help support unit growth through Journey to Excellence and complete at least 2 detailed assessments for each assigned unit. Last year, I'm very pleased to report our Potawatomi Commissioner team logged in over 770 total visits. At this time, I would like to recognize Tim Ruckert for the Arrowhead Honor. Many thanks, Tim. Distinguished Commissioner Award. Recipients of the Distinguished Commissioner Award have been a commissioner for at least 5 years, be fully trained in the position, be familiar with the leadership of the assigned units, and be active within those units. In addition, at least 90% of their assigned units must complete their charter on time, and at least 50% must have earned the Journey to Excellence Awards. For anyone in this room that has been responsible for your unit's charter, you understand how much work this takes for just one charter. So this is no easy feat. The commissioners have been given many years of their time and their talent to Potawatomi. While there is no recipient for this award this year, we very much appreciate all the commissioners who have earned this award in the past. The Ashen Brenner Whitkins Outstanding Commissioner Award was established in the Potawatomi District to honor Gary Ashenbrenner and Al Whitkins. These 2 commissioners establish a legacy of dedication and excellence in commissioner service to their units in Potawatomi. The recipient selected is a commissioner who gives outstanding service to the Potawatomi District. This year, we present the Ashenbrenner Whitkins Award to Rick Gordon. Yay, Rick. Rick has given tirelessly to the Potawatomi District and to our commissioner team. Congratulations, Rick, and thank you for your dedication and for providing brilliant commissioner service for our youth here in Potawatomi. I will now ask our friend Marcelo to return and present our unit level awards.
Thank you, Brian. So this is the fun part for me because we get a chance to talk about people who really make a difference at the unit level. So there are a number of awards that I'm going to go through, and I promise you that I will completely butcher most of your names, so you can just prepare for that. Now remember, I'm Marcelo Bondurant, so I may be familiar with the experience, but I will do my best to get everything right. We'll take time at the end of each of the award groups for everyone to be recognized for our applause. Now, we may not be able to see and hear each other, but we still can raise those thanks up. And for those of you at home, I highly recommend that you give yourself the same level of embarrassment that you would have if you were at the banquet and you had to come up and stand next to me while I talked about you, and let everybody applaud for you. So I would recommend, I would ask, stand up in your living room, stand up in your bedroom, stand up, and while we all clap, you can take that same level of embarrassment and appreciation from us that we want to share with you. So here we go. Let's start with the Unit Committee Service Awards. So now that we've recognized our district level volunteers, it's important that we acknowledge those who serve at the front line of scouting, our outstanding unit level volunteers. And the Unit Committee Service Award honors our committee members working behind the scenes, performing special and often unseen tasks, such as treasurer, camping chair, advancement chair. They work directly with our youth, ensuring their continued enjoyment and success in scouting, often through lots and lots of paperwork, or time on Scout Book, or time with family and the committee. So very much appreciated. So Jeff Gerns from Troop 69, Carol Doach from Troop 69, Margaret Luttrell from Troop 55, Andrew Ahrens from Pack 463, Aaron Berlin from Pack 8, Lexi Witzenberg from Troop 3, Frank Pranzika from Troop 3, Chris Hersey from Troop 916, Gail Patrick from Troop 916, Teresa Bruskowitz from Troop 55, Tim Schmidt from Pack 903, Dean Mueller from Troop 924, Spencer Stern from Pack 903, Angela Choi from Pack 13, Christy Dole-Bennett from Pack 13, Khalid Gantos from Pack 18, Karen Skinner from Pack 18, Shilpa Kanigi from Pack 20, and Karen Orndorff from Troop 55. So, three more. Rick Schmidt from Troop 32, Greg Hathcock from Troop 32, and Robert Gutschow from Troop 57. So if you would please give all these folks a round of applause. All of you who had your names read, please stand up so we can applaud for you. And thank you very, very much. All right, so next, I'd like to recognize our unit leaders that have served as a direct leader with the Direct Leader Service Awards. So the Direct Leader Service Award recognizes registered leaders who work directly with scouts and venturers. These folks walk alongside their scouts throughout the program. They ensure their continued success and their growth. The Direct Leader Service Award and the Unit Committee Service Award allows us to acknowledge our own leaders for commitment, initiative, and dedication in providing a quality scouting experience. So here we go. Brian Pollock from Troop 69, Nancy Cliver from Troop 55, Andy Jobs from Troop 9, Steve Buxbaum from Troop 9, Adam Polasek from Troop 9, Mike King from Troop 9, Greg Lev from Pack 7, Wolfgang Speaker from Pack 7, Aga Zulkowski from Troop 9, Andrea Dunning from Pack 463, Christine Beer from Pack 8, James Murphy from Crew 55, Jamie Fink from Troop 3, Moses Fineni from Troop 3, Chuck Carrington from Troop 916, Daryl Nishiban from Troop 916, Andrew Alexander from Pack 903, Antonine Kaiser from Pack 13, Tom Edson from Crew 13, Robert Dold from Crew 13, Bill Graham from Troop 13, Randy White from Troop 13, Mike Ray from Pack 18, Steve Jamber from Troop 18, Brent Breithaupt from Pack 21, Deborah Barr from Troop 2, Shalish Patel from Troop 2, Shilpa Kanigi from Pack 20, Christopher Lang from Troop 2, and Guido Gaizan from Troop 69. So now, all of you, please stand up in your living rooms, stand there and wait for it, and let's give everybody a great round of applause for these Direct Unit Leader Service Award winners. All right, so if you're thinking, wait a minute, I've got a great leader in my unit that deserves one of these awards, then let's be clear. Your job is to make sure that next year you get their nomination into the district dinner staff, and you can do it as early as possible. You don't have to wait till the last minute. You don't have to wait for the countdown, the reminders, the extra emails, the requests, the asks. Just do it early. And then they too can be recognized, and hopefully next year we can applaud for them in person. All right, so let's move on to the Scouters Training Award. The Scouters Training Award can be earned by unit leaders who've served scouting faithfully through a tenure of 2 years or more, have completed their position-specific training, as well as additional scout training guided their unit to certain benchmarks, including earning at least bronze in the Journey to Excellence. They must also attend either a scouting university or 4 roundtable meetings during each year of the tenure, participate in annual organization planning meetings, and participate in at least 1 additional supplemental or advanced training event at the council level or higher. The Scouters Training Award demonstrates that the leader has made a commitment not only to improve their understanding of scouting, but also a commitment to ensuring that their unit is healthy and well-performing. So first, the Den Leader Training Award. Tim Schmidt, Pack 903, John Ulrich from Pack 463, Andrea Dunning from Pack 463. For the Venture Training Award, Matthew Mullins from Crew 5. Thank you, and let's recognize everybody for their efforts in learning and becoming more effective in scouting. So now it's time to honor the most outstanding direct leaders among us, the Unit Leader Award of Merit. This is the highest nationally recognized honor that can be given to a Cubmaster, Scoutmaster, or crew advisor. These leaders are the lifeblood of scouting. They serve as mentors to our scouts, advisors to the parents, and representatives to their chartering organization and their communities. These leaders are deeply committed to the values of the scouting program, and they have created a legacy within their units that future scouts will benefit from long after they move on. Stephen Gall from Troop 2. Stephen, congratulations. And I hope you're standing up, because after all, it feels better when you stand up, I promise. Okay. So the Scoutmaster Key Award. It recognizes scout leaders who've gone well beyond their required training. These leaders have completed position-specific training at the council level, and they give leadership to their unit in earning at least a silver in the Journey to Excellence. So tonight, let's recognize Robert Greenwell Knight III. All right, so a little bit of a change now. The awards committee has asked me first to put in a shameless plug for this award. It's the Venerative Service Awards. So as I go through this, if you're thinking to yourself that you, yes you, or maybe a fellow scouter qualifies for this next award, please note that you must actually submit paperwork to receive this award. So submit often and submit early. Just like everything else in scouting, there's some paperwork that has to be filed. All right, so the Veteran Service Award honors leaders who've stayed in their program for increasing increments of time, often after their own children have aged out of the program. It recognizes a sustained commitment to the scouting program. Tonight, we recognize 4 people in increasing orders, magnitudes of service. So with 10 years of service, Matt Morgan, 20 years of service, Betsy Uzel, 50 years of service, John Modlin, and 70 years, Patrick Milks. Would you all please stand so that we can thank you and recognize you? All right, these Scouters will receive their Veterans Pin at the Council Dinner this summer, so congratulations and thank you to all of you for your service and your continued service. All right, so if you didn't know or you're not sure, the 2021 Council Dinner will be held this summer, and at it, we will do something very fun, as we always do. We'll get a chance to honor our Potawatomi Silver Beaver recipient, who this year is Mr. Jim Hintz. Please join us at the Council Dinner and help to celebrate Jim's accomplishments. And now, and I know you're glad to hear this, it's time for me to turn the podium over to Mr. John McConnell, that damn dude, who is going to do some work to present our District Awards of Merit. Thank you.
Thanks, Marcelo. We have come to the highlight of our evening, where we recognize our most dedicated servants of scouting with the 2020 District Award of Merit. This is the highest honor a district can give a volunteer. The recipients of this award must be nominated by fellow volunteers. They must be registered Scouters who have tendered outstanding service to youth at the unit, district, or council level. Nominations are reviewed by a committee composed of last year's District Award of Merit recipients, and the number of recipients is determined by the number of units in our district. Tonight, we are honored to recognize 4 award winners. We will be awarding each recipient a certificate, an engraved plaque, and a square knot for their uniforms. We have arranged for furloughed North Pole elves to deliver the awards directly to the awardees. Our first District Award of Merit recipient is John Bathke, Troop 57, Glenview.
The reason I originally got into scouting, I grew up in the northwest suburbs out in Algonquin. My mom had 2 acres. I loved the outdoors, so it was a perfect place to grow up. And even before scouting, you know, my friends and I, we would search through the woods, we would build forts, we would wade through the creeks in our neighborhood. We all really loved the outdoors. And as a young person, a couple of my friends had joined scouting and recruited me in, and it was just more of the same, except to a totally different level. Now we got to build bonfires. Now we got to sleep outside at night. And, that was just a lot of fun. And even after being a scout as a youth, that continued on. I continued to camp. I very much enjoy the outdoors. My favorite's actually winter camping. There's nothing better than a nice fire in an evening, kind of settling back, getting ready to turn in. You appreciate a fire a lot more in the wintertime. So I love the winter camping. And now my boys are in scouting and I get to do it all over again. My favorite story about camping, when I was in Scouts, and this is all the way back in 1979, I went to a place called Eagle Cave. And as a scout, well, Eagle Cave was quite an adventure, crawling around in all these nooks and crannies and, fitting in places that I probably shouldn't have been able to fit. And I had a lot of fun as a youth. Well, fast forward 40 years later, I'm there with my oldest son, literally 40 years, 2019. And here we are again at Eagle Cave. Now, as an adult, I still had fun. It was fun sleeping in the cave. I didn't quite remember it how I did when I was a youth. You know, the water dripping on you and the moisture and the cold, humid, but it was still a ton of fun. And just the fact that here 40 years later, I'm doing it again and getting to share that with my son. Meeting that's memorable, I would say all of our meetings during COVID. I've just been so inspired about how active our troop has been able to continue to be. Last year, we weren't able to go to Philmont, and there was only going to be 10 of us going. And as it turned out, last minute, when we found out it was canceled, we actually got over 20 of our troop members to go to the Boundary Waters. So the fact that it's not just one meeting, it's the fact that we continued to meet. It was the fact that our church cooperated, had a nice big canopy set up for us so that, you know, whether it's raining, whether it wasn't raining, we were able to continue to meet in person, socially distanced, very safe. And they really toughed it out. It hasn't been easy, but you know, I'm just glad we're still functioning as a troop and doing so terribly, so well.
John Bathke has 8 years of leadership as Assistant Scoutmaster and Scoutmaster for Glenview Troop 57, where he has 2 sons in scouting. He is credited with increasing youth membership and adult participation in the troop, building an excellent committee, and developing a large number of qualified Assistant Scoutmasters. He has co-headed the recruiting and launching of Girls Troop 57G this fall. He is active in district events as Potawatomi District Committee member. These have included his role as a leader of the NEIC Scout Group at the 2019 World Scout Jamboree. He provides a model of Scoutmaster training and promotes leader training opportunities to his colleagues. He received Wood Badge in 2018. John is also an assistant coach for the OLPH cross country team. John is called a servant leader who encourages youth leadership of the troop, particularly in their mentoring of younger scouts. As a nominator remarked, John's helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, and cheerful attitude, no matter what the difficulties faced, provide a living, breathing example to the youths and adults of Troop 57 of what it means to live the Scout law. Congratulations, John. Please accept the gratitude of the entire Potawatomi District for your service to Scouting. Applause for John. Our next District Award of Merit recipient is Charles Carrington, Troop 916, Evanston.
Makes the award special, especially important to me because one of the first times I went to, as a leader, went to one of the banquets, I was looking in the book and it had all the, it listed everybody that's ever gotten the award. And I saw my dad was in there. I didn't even know he had received the award. So, but it was fun to see his name in the book. So, yeah, there's one camp out that I remember when we had a couple boys. It was their first camp out, and one of the boys, there had been some stuff in the news about cougars, and he was all worried about whether we were going to encounter cougars on this camp out and stuff. So we told them not to worry about it. They're not around. They're not really, we're not going to see cougars. And I think we just finally got him where he wasn't concerned anymore. And all of a sudden, just right on cue, a coyote howled. And he was immediately, what's that? What's that? So we then had to tell him about coyotes and that we hear them all the time, but never see them. And they're not, they eat little things. And one of the high adventure trips that I enjoyed, we went backpacking at Pictured Rocks, through doing it through Cajun, and I don't know, it was funny because especially the senior patrol leader and a lot of the boys, they were just like very gung ho and try to, want to get it done. And so they would just hike really fast and not take breaks and stuff. And, and meanwhile, some of the leaders, we were sort of lagging behind and enjoying the scenery and everything. And then we'd get to the campsite and they complained that it was boring just hanging out at the campsite. They said, well, take your time hiking. So I think we did finally slow them down a little bit towards the end. But, one of the things we did on that hike that was wonderful, the last day, we got up while it was still dark, broke camp while it was dark, and hiked a few miles, and we went out on this, there was this like ledge that went out so that you could look up and down the lake both ways, and we were there just as the sun was rising. And so we were eating breakfast, and we could look one way and see the sunrise, and you look the other way and you could see the colors of the sunrise reflecting off of a point of land that was sticking out, and it was quite magical. It was really something. And, the boys were very much in awe. It was a very quiet breakfast, because it was just, it was fun.
Chuck Carrington was himself a Cub in Pack 9 and a Scout in Troop 3 in Wilmette. And now he has served over 30 years as an adult leader in Scouting. Chuck started his leadership career, I hate to point out, in the last century, as Cub Master of Pack 916 in Evanston. In the ensuing years, he has been Assistant Cub Master, Scoutmaster, and Co-Scoutmaster of Troop 916 and advisor for Crew 916. Chuck has a great love of camping that he uses to engage and train scouts and their leaders. He especially likes cold weather camping and continually transmits his oak pick knowledge to spread that love to scouts. He has been a leader at Camp Cajun for several years, a trek leader to Philmont Scout Ranch, and a leader for groups to jamborees outside the United States. A nominator commented on the way Chuck addresses behavior issues and how he provides gentle redirection to get the kids back on task. He said, Chuck has a straightforward and direct approach that boys often just seem to respond to. Another nominator pointed out that Chuck has been a wise and practical voice in helping leaders provide the best program for scouts in this pandemic year. In addition to his scout activities, Chuck has assisted at YMC Camp Echo. He's a member of the Citizens for Greener Evanston and a member of the Evanston Transport Committee. Congratulations, Chuck. Please accept the gratitude of the entire Potawatomi District for your service to Scouting. Applause for Chuck. Our next District Award of Merit recipient is Nancy Cliver, Troop 55, Glenview.
My memorable scouting experiences, one that I'll always remember. It was an awe moment that I was able to witness. Was that our troop does indoor climbing, rock climbing every year, and the one time, usually it's the younger scouts who it's usually their first merit badge, and so there's a group of scouts that are working on the merit badge while the other scouts are just kind of climbing, in the other spaces. But one of the scouts that was working on the merit badge, who had to do one of this requirement, he had to climb all the way to the top, and he kind of froze in the middle, and he just kind of froze, and it was kind of like, okay, what are we going to do? Without us even saying a word, two older scouts, two crew members, grabbed ropes on either side and started climbing. They didn't help him physically, but they helped him verbally, and they cheered him on all the way to the top. They were like, you got this. We're right next to you, but you got this, and you can do this. And he did it, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It took a long time, and they stayed with him every inch of the way. And that, I was like, wow, that's what scouting's about. You know, you do something, you do it together, you cheer each other on, you got each other's backs. That was truly incredible. And I was just in awe, and I was lucky to just watch it happen. I was like, wow, I'll always remember that. The duty to God is very close to my heart on a lot of the religious BSA awards committees. I'm a religious award counselor for the Scouts. And I'm really amazed at how through scouting, it uses all the aspects, right? It's kind of a culmination of all of it. It's not one or the other, it's all of it. So it's the religion, duty to God, it's duty to family, and it's duty to community, right? So it's you know, well-rounded, and it touches all aspects of your life. So you really can't help but live the Scout oath and law in all that you do every day. One of the Scout laws that's kind of dear to my heart is trustworthiness. And it's the aspect of being true to yourself. And that's another thing that I just love about the scouting program. They're not asking you to, well, you have to be this kind of a scout or that kind of a scout. It's you being true to yourself and being that scout. So it's not this cookie cutter and you have to be this or that. It's being true to yourself and who that is. And you do that through scouting. I think I'd like to share that not only has this been an incredible journey for both my sons, it's been an incredible journey for me as well. When I started in scouting through Cub Scouts, I didn't know how to pitch a tent. I never went camping, and I learned a lot. And going through the training programs through scouting has been a really life growth for me personally. It's given me confidence, and I've learned a lot, so that there's things that I can enjoy too with my sons on our own family campouts, because now I know how to do it. And it has increased my confidence as well. And that, kind of bleeds over into my work and my other community aspects, where I was more confident in getting more involved in my community as well. So it's been an amazing journey, and it continues to be an amazing journey. So I'm really grateful to scouting and the scouting family, because it truly is that. It is a scouting family, because you don't do it alone. Just like that amazing scout that I witnessed, those two scouts on either side of the one scout climbing that climbing wall. You're not alone. You do it together, and you encourage each other all the way to the top.
Nancy Cliver puts the Energizer Bunny to shame. Nancy was an active den leader in Morton Grove Pack 175, who followed her sons to Glenview Troop 55. Nancy quickly took over recruiting for the troop and has been instrumental in encouraging Scout achievement of religious awards for the respective faiths. Nancy has been a troop leader at Camp Cajun for 2 years. Showing her intrepid spirit, she has volunteered to be the adult leader riding the bus both ways. As a nominator remarked, Nancy is a go-to person in the troop. There is not a day that goes by when she is not doing something for our troop and for scouting in general. For 3 years, Nancy has been a member of the district committee. She is responsible for increasing the training level of adult leaders in district troops. It is unlikely that there are any of our units that have not had a call from Nancy who regularly checks on whether adults are YPT trained and whether assistant scoutmasters have finished their required training. Her attention to training works in two directions. Through her many troop contacts, Nancy has identified glitches that frustrate scoutmasters in their monitoring of training. She has worked with the council to define long-term solutions and provide workarounds that will help units keep on track. Nancy practices what she preaches about training. She has completed an outstanding number of training programs and earned Wood Badge in 2020. Nancy has received the Pelican Award from the Catholic Archdiocese of Chicago for support of youth ministry through scouting, and the St. George Award from the National Catholic Committee on Scouting for significant and outstanding contributions to the spiritual development of Catholic youths through scouting. Congratulations, Nancy. Please accept the gratitude of the entire Potawatomi District for your service to scouting. Applause for Nancy. Our final District Award of Merit winner is Nathaniel Roberts, Troops 20B and 20G of Winnetka.
So there are a lot of scouts that I'm proud of, and they range. I mean, we've got a scout that's totally deaf who's worked his way right through. He can read lips. He has figured out how to make it work. He just earned his Eagle Scout. But I will never forget him figuring out how in a first aid rally to, in a very loud, noisy room, figure out how he was going to understand the instructions. I can think of a young woman that we have that has really turned into a spectacular young leader and has really thought about how to be better at what she does. I can think of a young man that is just about to graduate that has so embraced our program and our Higher Adventure program that he was invited to teach at Nail at Philmont 3 times. Right now he's currently applying to the service academies. There are a lot of others that are further back. Those are 3 that are in the troop right now. And the scout law for me is something that I really talk to the scouts a lot about. And in the end, it's great that they know how to tie a knot. It's great they know how to set up a tent. They'll have to do that. But the scout law is, I think, the thing that they carry with them for the rest of their life. And so I always try to have a Scoutmaster conference where I ask them what's the easiest one to live to, what's the hardest one to live to, and then it gets more interesting when I start saying, so tell me which word you would put in to the scout law that's not there. And it's fascinating, but it always reflects that scout, the one they choose. And then I ask which one they take out. And the point of the exercise for me, and the thing I think is so interesting is, in the end, it internalizes and it becomes their way, how they see living. And it's not that all those things are easy to do. Those things we need to say every week to remind us to do them well. And so that's what's interesting, is to see how the kids embrace the scout law and talk about how it really forms their way to view the world.
Nat Roberts has been Scoutmaster of Troop 20 in Winnetka since 2015. He has been an active leader of high adventures, such as hiking the Grand Canyon, rafting the Deschutes River in Oregon, sailing in the Virgin Islands, and canoeing in the Boundary Waters. He has effectively brought girls into the troop organization as Troop 20G. He proposed organizational changes to make the girls welcome and comfortable, and recruited adult female leaders to lead the girl patrols. Troop 20G quickly established itself in the Potawatomi district through the spirit and achievement of its members. As a nominator remarked, I give Nat Roberts huge credit for engineering this enormous change to our scout troop and doing it so effectively that no one can imagine how many ways it could have gone wrong. NAT has maintained troop activities of both 20B and 20G during the COVID crisis. In addition, under NAT's leadership, the Troops 20 have provided significant support to a future builder scout troop in the African country of Ghana. Several Eagle projects during the last 2 years have provided furniture and equipment for a community library. In addition, the Troops 20 scouts built and shipped a book collection. They maintain active communication with the Ghana troop. Nat has been active in his community, notably as a member of the District 36 School Board for 4 years. He also serves as chartered organization representative for Winnetka PAC 18 and Troop 18. Congratulations, Nat. Please accept the gratitude of the entire Potawatomi District for your service to scouting. Applause for Nat. Thank you and congratulations again to all of our 2020 District Award of Merit winners. A round of applause for all of them. And another round. If you believe someone in your unit deserves to be recognized for the District Award of Merit, please submit their name to the District Awards Committee by October of this year. Thank you again for joining us and celebrating all of our outstanding scouters this evening. Marcelo, please bring this evening to a close.
What amazing scouting leaders. Now, I've been told scouting that some of you out there have embraced and been prepared scouting and have devised some way to find listening to me talk for this long entertaining by maybe correlating the word scouting and some activity far more fun than listening to me. Now, I'm not sure whether people involved in scouting would do that or not, but I suspect that it's possible. So I'm glad that all of you are enjoying this evening. What wonderful leaders we recognize tonight. And I get the wonderful opportunity, which is one of my favorite parts of being a Scoutmaster, to close the evening with something for us to think about. And so trying to do a Scoutmaster's Minute for an awards banquet that's being delivered virtually in what has been quite an amazing year for scouting was interesting, trying to think about, so what's the right Scoutmaster's Minute? So I hope you like this one, and I hope you are looking forward to another year of scouting. So this is a parable told about a farmer and a mule. So one day, a mule, unfortunately, fell into a farmer's well. The farmer heard the mule braying, or maybe praying, whatever it is that mules do in wells. And he came and he carefully assessed the situation. But while the farmer sympathized with the mule, he decided that neither the mule nor the well was really worth the trouble of saving. So instead, he called his neighbors together. He told them what had happened. He enlisted their help to haul dirt and bury the old mule in the well to put him out of his misery. Well, initially, the old mule was hysterical and frightened. But as the farmer and his neighbors continued shoveling and the dirt hit his back, a thought struck him. It dawned on him that every time a shovel load of dirt landed on his back, he could just shake that dirt off and step up. This he did. He did it blow after blow. Shake it off and step up. shake it off and step up. Shake it off and step up. He repeated it to encourage himself. So no matter how painful the blows or how distressing the situation seemed, the old mule fought the panic and he just kept right on shaking it off and stepping up. And it wasn't long before the old mule, battered and exhausted, but also triumphant, stepped up over the wall of that well and was free. What seemingly would bury him actually helped him, all because of the manner in which he handled that adversity. So that's life, right? We all face our problems this year for sure, but we respond to them positively. We refuse to panic. We give up bitterness. We give up self-pity. The problems that come along to bury us usually have within them the very potential to benefit us and to benefit scouting. Good night.